Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It is Wednesday, April 19th. Interesting news broke yesterday regarding Fani Willis and the case down in Georgia. I'm going to read a little bit from Georgia Public Broadcasting on this story. You probably have heard in the news, but in case you hadn't, there's an attorney by name, I believe it's Catherine Debrow in Georgia, is representing 10 of the fake electors. And she has a partner that she works with named Holly Pearson. So in the article it says, Debrow and attorney Holly Pearson initially represented 11 of the 16 people who falsely signed documents claiming to be Georgia's electors, including Georgia GOP chairman David Schaefer. But the judge said, Schaefer had a larger role in this, so he needs separate counsel because it's kind of a conflict of interest. This guy's really, really bad and done some bad things. These other 10 haven't done nearly as bad of things like that. So separate out the felon from the misdemeanors, that type of thing. So they went ahead and did that. And then Pearson, who's who works with Debrow, agreed to represent Schaefer in these cases. So now Debrow's representing 10 people. Her partner Pearson is representing the chairman of the GOP. Well, it turns out that the DA, there were some filings with the DA, and as recently as last week, the DA interviewed some of the fake electors and found that they said that another one of the electors, one of the 10, had committed acts that are in violations of Georgia law, and these other 9 people were not party to those acts. So that means that one of these 10 also needs a different lawyer now because they've done more crimes that these other 9 haven't participated in and don't want any part of, don't want to be sentenced for that. So that's causing a conflict with Debrow and the 9 versus 1. Now, here's the 2 things that come to mind just before we even go further, because it gets worse. 1, you had 11 people. You need to know if one person is way more guilty than the others. You can't just lump them all together. And 2, if there's a second person who's also way more guilty, you need to take that person out too, in the best interest of the 9 other people. Got it? We're following so far? 1 really bad person, 1 bad person, 9 not so bad people. Okay. Debrow representing 10 of the electors has reached an impractical and ethical mess. And here's the worst part. Apparently, there was news out that some of the fake electors, the judge ordered Debrow to let them know that they could cop to an immunity deal. And she replied that none of them were interested in taking it. Well, when the DA interviewed some of these people, probably when they were rolling over this one person of the 10 who did more crimes than they did, they said they were never told that there was an immunity deal. That's a huge oversight. You can't both be right. They can't be said, we weren't told of an immunity deal, and then the lawyer said, oh yeah, they were. They just didn't want it. I think if I was one of those 10 people and somebody was offering me immunity for testimony, sign me up. I'll throw anybody else under the bus if I can save my own butt. So we're in some trouble here. Now, mind you, that you've got the head of the GOP, who's the really bad person, represented by Debrow's assistant, and now you've got this one other person who could be as guilty as David Schaefer, or at least maybe in the neighborhood. So who is the lawyer representing? Is it representing these 9 rubes or these 2 bad people? It seems like it's representing the 2 bad people, not the 9 rubes. Sounds like a good title. So I want to find out what's going on, what's going to happen with all this. Okay, I'm trying a little different setup. I've got a Costco size wad of paper underneath my laptop, so it's raised up about 4 inches. So I should be able to lower the lid down so you can see cards. So we'll do that now, okay? We'll see how this works out. So, Spirit, how is this going to work with Fani Willis with this case? Are the attorneys in trouble? Or can you give us a little background of what's going on? Okay, we got the tower. I don't think it's upside down. My cards are upside down. So it's the tower moment. This like, oh dear, this is a sudden ending to the shenanigans that were going on with this lawyer. And it's the offer they didn't offer to their clients. This is starting off strong right off the top, huh? Okay, let's keep on going. So, in the past, there was the planning. This wasn't, lift up again. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't an accident. This was something that they planned. They knew what was going on. And that makes sense, right? I mean, you've got 11 people you're representing. When you're interviewing them, you know who the guilty person is. You know who the guilty person is. You know who the rubes are. Okay, we'll keep it down for the rest of this, then I'll throw it up there. Current situation is the fool. Yeah, you think? Overarching situation, or the overarching energy, is the Seven of Pentacles. The lesson to be learned is the Ten of Pentacles. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a moment. And then we've got the World card. And then underneath it is the Seven of Pentacles, working. Okay, boys and girls, what do we got? Okay, so signifier card is the Tower. Oops, we've been exposed. And now the judge is going to come crashing down on these guys like nobody's business. And again, I think this represents the offer that wasn't made to the 9 people. You know, they were representing 2 people, not 9. In the past, we have the Three of Wands. This is about planning, mapping strategies out. They knew what was going on. They didn't think they would get caught. I don't know why, but you know, maybe they're more clever than I am. Current situation is the Fool. This was a stupid, foolish thing to do. Now, I guess if you get away with it, that's great, but this person's walking off the cliff. That was not, and they're playing these other 9 people for fools. That was not a good decision. Now, we've got people evaluating their situation. The judge is looking at this situation. The defense lawyer, these other 9 people are going to get a new defense lawyer. It's going to be my guess. If I were them, I wouldn't want that woman anymore. I wouldn't trust her. I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her with that, because that's 2 times now that they've had people who are more guilty than they are being lumped in with them. I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her. And the reason why I was laughing is the lesson to be learned. Who's paying for all this? From what I understand, it's the GOP. The GOP is funding these attorneys. These attorneys are there not to protect these 16 people. They're there to protect the GOP. And in which case, I would certainly say that the chairman of the GOP is the one they're protecting the most. And it looks like another one of the electors, who's also much more involved in this scheme, is also being protected, because their GOP is trying to protect themselves. This is also, intergenerational money. You can also think of this as the conspiracy. You've got, the old man, the younger people, and the kids. The kids are going to be represented by, those are the 9 people that were naively suckered into this electors thing. The dogs are probably the voters. The 2 adults are probably the 2 people that are more guilty of all this. And then the old man is actually the person who's in charge calling these shots. I don't think you found the kingpin in this. I think you found lieutenants. It's the end. This has come all the way around, and it's going to be probably found to be a conspiracy. It's going to be a conspiracy, and it's going to be a worldwide conspiracy. Now, it just might be worldwide as the United States. It might be big, like it encompasses all the GOP. But this is not small. This is big. And then again, the underlying energy is the Seven of Pentacles. This is the work that was going on behind the scenes, trying to hammer out this, but I don't think it was done in an honest fashion. This is, instead of an honest day's work, it's a dishonest day's work is what was happening here. Okay, so that's kind of my read on what the current situation is. Don't we all want to know what's going to happen to the lawyers with this? Or how are, well, let's first ask of the Let me move this back a little bit. Of the 9 people who appear to be a little bit more rubish than the others, how are they feeling right now with this revelation that they were offered immunity and they weren't told about it? I'm going to work on under that assumption because that's the more believable of the 2 scenarios, right? How are they feeling about this attorney that's been representing them? How are they feeling about their general situation? Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Spirit, can you give us a little insight how the 9 people being represented by this attorney are feeling after these revelations? Okay, this one, we're going to just bury it like that. Here we go. How are they feeling? Yipes. They're holding on. Holding on. Can you see that? Let's see if we can get this down a little lower. They're holding on to what they've got going on. Let's see. We got the Page of Wands. Ah, dear me. And the King of Pentacles. And then underneath it is the Walking Away card. Okay. I think how they're feeling right now is they're holding on for dear life. I think that, they're trying to hold on to their money. They're trying to hold on to their ideals, their principles, their freedoms. They're trying desperately to hold on to everything, but they've chained themselves to the devil. They did this to themselves. They volunteered for this. And what are they going to do about it now? Because the consequences have come to face them. Now, on the one hand, they are being given likely an opportunity to take a different path. Plea deal. Immunity. Start blabbing on these people. And I suspect that many of them are going to unchain themselves from this and protect themselves because they don't want to lose everything. And on the other side of it, we have the King of Pentacles, which could represent Donald Trump, but could also represent the GOP that's been providing. If they do this, the GOP's probably might be reluctant to pay for this, and they might have to pay for it out of pocket. But what's more important? You want to go to jail and have somebody pay your bills, or do you want to, be free and it costs you some money? And underneath it is the Walking Away card, the emotional abandonment. I think they're going to walk away. Many, if not all of them, will walk away from this current situation because, again, they're small fish in a big pond. And they need to protect themselves. They need to protect their family. They need to protect their interests. And remember that we also had that 4 of Cups that came up on the other one, and they haven't been represented properly. Don't be surprised if you see these 9 people get a different lawyer. Either they'll all have to lawyer up, or they'll get a lawyer who's actually representing their interests. That King of Pentacles could also represent, I think that King of Pentacles, I don't think that's necessarily the GOP funding them. I think that's the GOP chairman and the other person who are more involved with it. They're the kingpins of this cell, of this little platoon of people that were acting as fake electors. Again, I think what we're going to find out, we're going to find more about who was in charge, because now the district attorney can really lean heavily in on the GOP chairman and this other fake elector, and really lean on them and get more information on this conspiracy, because they're going to be looking at some serious prison time. Okay. How's the lawyer feeling? How is Ms Debrow feeling right about now with these revelations? Don't we all want to know that? Gossip. This is kind of the gossip catty part of it, right? All right. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What's going on with that? Oh, you're delusional. You're a moron. You were told all the good things that will happen out of this, and you ignored all the bad things. Okay, you cray. That was stupid. This is going to get you in a whole lot of trouble. Okay, now the fun's beginning. Now you're in trouble. Now you're in it. You are in it. Now, again, this is something that could lead to disbarment. It could be obstruction of justice. There's all sorts of stuff that could be going on with this. Good Lord. Okay. fighting back, and then there's the walking away card. All right, and then underneath it is being left out in the cold. Okay, so how is this lawyer feeling about this? I have a real hard time believing that she was misled. I think maybe she didn't think it all the way through. Maybe she thought, they convinced her that you can do this. This is going to be fine. Nobody will ever know. But we'll back you. You'll be fighting from a percentage. You'll be fighting from advantage. We've got your back. We got you covered on this one. But instead of fighting from a position of strength, she's now been dragged into the middle of this. Again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And then there's the walking away. I think she's going to have to walk away from these 9 electors. Maybe she'll represent the one person, but I think they're going to kick her off this case altogether. I think the judge will say, you're gone. You can't do this. You've been basically unethical. You've been fighting for one person or two. You've been fighting for one person, not the other 8. And here's the 5 of Pentacles underneath it. You're gone, and don't think this is the end of it. Expect fines. Expect possible disbarment, because this could be disbarment. You've been kicked out of the organization, and now you're on the streets, and you don't have a way to provide for yourself. That's what you get. I feel better. That almost feels like justice, doesn't it? Okay. Now, last question. Spirit. How will this work out? Tell us how. Tell us what's going to be the fate of. I'm more curious of the fate of the chairman. What's the chairman's name here? Is on here? David Schaefer. I'm more curious about David Schaefer and this one elector. What is going to happen with them? With all these revelations out, what's going to happen with them? Are they going to roll? Are they going to keep their mouth shut and be the fall guys for this? Are there any other fall guys for this? Is this a bigger conspiracy? What do we got? Tell me what's going to happen with these guys. Okay, let's bring it on down. They're going to proceed, or somebody's proceeding with a plan. You got backroom deals. Yeah. Protecting one's interests. Providing and a burden. Okay. All right. What's going to happen here? I think the Fani Willis is going to go to these folks with this new information. She's going to go forward with new information. And if this is indeed a bigger conspiracy, she's going to give them an off-ramp to take care of themselves. You're going to give them one opportunity to become state's witness and tell them everything they know. If there's a big conspiracy. If there's no conspiracy, then that's not going to happen. But this would indicate that so there's probably a conspiracy because they're kind of one pentacle in the whole scheme of things. And you can think of this Queen of Cups as being Fani Willis cajoling, like, come on, you can bounce the baby on your knee. You can tell me what's going on. And here's the backroom deals. Here's the folks, at least some of them, and one of the two, if not both of them, you can think of both of them talking to Fani Willis saying, okay, here's what was going on behind the scenes in the dark. And then we have the Empress. The Empress is representing somebody. I don't think this is, the GOP per se. I think this could be representing Russia. This could be representing, there's Russian interests. This could be a conspiracy that involves Russia. I don't have a Russia card. The Empress, I know for some readers, does represent that. So we'll put a pin on it. Let's see if the Empress represents Russia on that. But underneath it all, what a huge burden. This is going to be a difficult time for some people that need to cut a deal. Okay, So big story out of Georgia. Good job, Fani Willis. And, we'll say our prayers that justice is served over there. And if this is a bigger conspiracy, that those who are leading that conspiracy are held to account. This might take some time. And that's unfortunate because I think we're all very tired of watching the crimes get bigger and bigger. But if they truly are as big as this, it's going to take time to connect them all. You don't want anybody to get away, do you? I don't. Does that mean I have to wait another 6 months? Maybe. Am I happy about it? No. But if their cheating is that widespread, okay. As long as we get them all, or most of them anyways, that's what's important. That'll send the message. Okay. Thank you for watching this long video. I appreciate it. Do all the YouTube-y things, like, subscribe, comment, share. And again, I appreciate all you watching the videos and throwing your comments in there. And I'll catch you on the next video. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.